Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. Today I thought I'd do something a little different and just show and tell, basically show you my Beatles LP collection as well as my box sets, because I don't think I've ever done that on the channel. I've done my Beatles singles, which I admittedly don't have that many of, and I've also shown the singles box set that came out a few years ago, but never my full collection of Beatles albums, as well as I'll probably show off my solo stuff too, solo Beatles stuff, just so you guys get a gander of all that. So without further ado, why don't you meet me on the other side of this camera here. Okay, so this is the Beatles corner area here. But yeah, let's just start at the top here. This is McCartney 3. This is the Third Man Records pressing that was actually sent to me. Supposedly this was limited to 333 copies, but this is not numbered. It's lettered AP, but you can see the two black splotches here are McCartney 1 and 2 vinyl that was ground down and recycled to make this. And then this is one of the more coveted Beatles bootlegs, the original greatest hits, but it's basically their first album. So this was kind of a fun one to find. I like the silhouettes of their hair there. You know, it's like saying what it is without saying it. This, oh, I love this. This is probably the best analog stereo pressing of Magical Mystery Tour that you can get. This is a German pressing. I actually got this at Rockaway Records here in Los Angeles. Great record store if you're ever in town. But yeah, I highly recommend finding a German pressing for the stereo mix. But who knows? They might actually attempt it now. And then we have Let It Be Naked. This is a Japanese pressing. This is from 2003. It's got the Obi strip and the 7-inch. Yeah, 2003. I picked this up because into anticipation of the reissue, you know, Get Back, and I was just curious to hear how this sounds on vinyl. But, you know, honestly, you can't really compare. It's like apples to oranges in terms of the mixes. But yeah, I don't think they're going to reissue this on vinyl anytime soon. So I would recommend picking it up if you can. And I just happened to pick up the Japanese version because it ended up being a little cheaper in the end with shipping on Discogs, but I don't know about now. And then this is my butcher cover that you've probably seen in my various videos. This is long story short, I thought I just had a normal Yesterday and Today for years as a kid. And then one day I was reading about it, the butcher cover, and I noticed Ringo's turtleneck right there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I noticed, you can see a little bit, someone tried to start peeling this off. So yeah, this is Second State in mono. Yesterday and Today, and this is a Taiwanese bootleg of A Hard Day's Night. Really interesting, like just a very simple cover. It's almost like an inner sleeve. It's just paper. It's like folded on the end here. I put a piece of cardboard to give it some rigidity on the inside. But yeah, it's kind of a goofy thing. And look at that. It's hard to tell in this light, but it's actually a little bit translucent, if you can see that. Yeah. Kind of a real goofy record, not in great shape, but I just like it for the cover art with the pink background. So goofy. Okay, so this is starting here right behind the Beach Boys. We have the Beatles, and it's more or less in order. I mean, not totally in order, but it's in order enough. And I generally go like Capitol Records, and then I don't have a lot of original UK pressings. Pretty much all my UK style pressings are found in this box set or the other various box sets that have come out over the years. This is primarily all US pressings because I'm in the US and this is easy to come by, and I've had these records for years. So yeah, we're going to start, Meet the Beatles. This is original mono pressing, rainbow labels. And then we have another bootleg on VJ Records, Sounds and Pictures of the Fabulous Beatles. It's the real ones. Actually, this is like a semi gatefold, like this part's supposed to open up. But yeah, this is a bootleg of a VJ. I have another, I think this is another bootleg. Or no, this one, I think this one is real, but it's a mono. So it's not, they made a lot of these. These aren't as desirable as the stereo ones. Beatles' second album, stereo, but this is a later green label pressing. And then we have a much later reissue of the Canadian Twist and Shout. This is purple Capitol labels. And then we have A Hard Day's Night, original issue, mono. And then we have basically Capitol's answer to Hard Day's Night. We have something new. And this is on the green labels as well. Beatles 65. This is a mono original pressing. And then I also have it on stereo, rainbow labels. I have the early Beatles, rainbow label, stereo. I have Beatles, was that Beatles 6? I can't do Roman numerals right now. Rainbow labels. Help, stereo, and then this is mono. And these are, actually, what labels are these? Yeah, we got rainbow label, stereo, and then this mono help is rainbow as well. And then I have Rubber Soul, mono, rainbow label, stereo Rubber Soul, rainbow label. And then this is the crappy reissues from like 2012, 2014. These are the stereo from the digital remasters. Yeah, 2012. These are not great. I only bought this one because, you know, I wanted to compare it to some of the new remaster, the new remix that we got. And then we have an original mono rainbow label US pressing. And then we have this, which is a reissue of Yesterday and Today in stereo. It's on rainbow labels. This is in much better condition, but it is a cutout or a punch. So this was bought back by Capitol. It didn't sell. That's a whole thing. You can learn about that. And then we get into the later albums, which I have quite a few copies of, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of Sgt. Pepper. So we have an original, or no, is this original? Let me check no, so this is a later Apple Records pressing of the Capitol version, US stereo, Sgt. Pepper's. This, I believe, is, oh yeah, this is the 2017 remix done by Giles Martin. This, I believe, is the 2012 mix, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the 2012 mix, which is not great. Don't buy it. This is another Capitol pressing. Oh, this is a rainbow edition. So this is a original US pressing. And then I have my original UK mono pressing, which I got for like $5 at a garage sale. I was stoked to have that. I don't think the guy knew what he had. And then I have a couple of Magical Mystery Tours. So this is my original US stereo pressing with the booklet. And then I have the MoFi edition, which is not great. I don't recommend it. You can watch the video to learn more about that. And then this is a Philippines press. This is a pressing from the Philippines. It does not include the booklet at all. Yeah, and then both of these are US pressings. They're in various conditions. I don't know. Oh, I forget why I have this one. I think oh yeah, this one's this one I just keep because it has a low serial number. It's like 46,000 and a half roughly, but it's missing one of the discs. It's in terrible shape. But you know, this is kind of cool to have a low number pressing like that, but it is an original US pressing, and then this is a more complete version in much better condition, but it's a much higher number. I don't know if, you know, some people care about the number. I'm not that picky on it, you know what I mean? As long as I can play it, that's all that really matters. And then I have this is I think a 2012 stereo pressing of the Yellow Submarine, and then this is my preferred way to listen. This is the song track of Yellow Submarine. So this is like all the songs that were in the film. And then I have 3 copies of Abbey Road. I used to have more. I have my MoFi edition, which is actually very common. It's like one of the, I think it's like the first MoVa Fidelity. It's one of the first MoVa Fidelity releases. This is an original US pressing, and then this is the 2012 stereo remaster, which isn't very good. And then moving on, we have a couple versions of Let It Be. We have, this is a 2012 stereo. This is an original US pressing, MoFi edition, which I don't recommend either. I recommend the Giles Martin. And getting out of order here. Oh, and then this one's really interesting. So, so I've had this record for years. It didn't look like this. It looked like this. Beatles Let It Be. And forever I just thought this was, you know, a bootleg Let It Be. Which, you know, it's kind of a weird record to, because this is the disc, and it's, you know, it's blank on both sides, right? No label. But what I've come to find out is that this is the Glenn Johns version. This is the Get Back version of Let It Be. Really cool. I didn't realize I had it. It sounds terrible, but I've just held on to it, and I used it for my video on the Butcher cover. This is the record I used. I just bought this off of eBay, and because I didn't want to pay like 50 bucks for a bootleg of the Butcher cover. Like, I really didn't need the vinyl. I just needed the prop. And then I have the US compilation Hey Jude, and then I have Beatles Rarity. This is the US version, which is different than the one that comes in the blue box, which I've shown on the channel before, which is down there. I'll show that to you in a second. The Beatles' first live recordings, Hamburg, Germany, 1962. This is volume 2. I don't have volume 1. This is on Pickwick. I don't remember where I got this. I think I just inherited it from my parents. The Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. This is the original pressing of it. And then this is the remix done in conjunction with 8 Days a Week, which is a great film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. This is the Beatles at the movies, or it's called Reel Music, R-E-E-L. And gosh, when was this from? 1982. So yeah, kind of a funny compilation. Basically, it's all this, you know, songs from their films, like Let It Be, Hard Day's Night, Should Have Known Better, Help, I Am the Walrus, Yellow Submarine. You know, it's just another way to repackage Beatles music. They were doing that a lot. Kind of a weird cover, if I'm honest. And then we have Rock and Roll Music Volume 2. This is put out by Capitol. This is another funny compilation because it's like a mixture of new and old. New as in like Helter Skelter, Back in the USSR, and you have Dizzy and Miss Lizzy, Drive My Car, Revolution, Birthday, Get Back. It's kind of just a little bit all over the place, honestly. Like I can't imagine them doing something like this now. And then we have the Red album, the Blue album, and then we have Anthology 1, Anthology 2, Anthology 3, and then we have Past Masters, then we have Beatles 1, and that's it for that. Got Magical Mystery Tour, which is 7-inch, but, and then I have, I got the blue box, I have the white album, great box set, highly recommend this. I have Revolver, Abbey Road, Let It Be. And then I got some more down here. This is Flaming Pie, Paul McCartney. I got the Wedding album. And I also have this as like a really weird compilation put out by Polydor. And it's the first years of Cream, Who, Procol Harum, and the Beatles, but it's with Tony Sheridan. It's kind of a goofy, just like a weird, very basic box set. And then it's an import. I don't know. I've never seen anybody else have it. It was made in France. Yeah. Since I got you all here, let me show you my solo Beatles stuff, including this box set here. This is All Things Must Pass, 50th anniversary. This is the Super Deluxe Vinyl Edition, the 8 LP. Awesome album. Great set. And then over here, we have solo Beatles stuff. So we have an original, well, it's not really is it original? No, this is a later press. This is Purple Labels, All Things Must Pass. 33 1/3, George Harrison, Cloud 9, Extra Texture, Living in a Material World. And then this one's kind of cool. This is the reissue John Lennon Plastic Ono Band 2 LP. But what was cool is that this was sent to me from London. And I got on this mailing list and came with this note to Eric, Love, Yoko, and Sean. And it has this little card it's not really, I don't think that's really her signature, but I just thought it was a sweet little sentiment, you know? I like that. You know what I mean? I don't know what I did or who I got in good graces with to get that, but that's pretty cool. Then we have a Shaved Fish. We have, oh, this is that infamous Plastic Ono Band live piece in Toronto in 1969. If you know it, you know it. So then we have Mind Games. This is on the Capital Turquoise labels. And then we have Imagine. And then we have John Lennon, Rock and Roll. Then we have Heart Play, spoken word documentary. Double Fantasy. And then we have McCartney. Love this album. McCartney 2. This is a reissue. Got some Wings here. We got Band on the Run. And then we have Tug of War. I like this album too. Egypt Station. Oh, I forgot I had to have a half-speed mastered of Ram. Love this album. And then I have, this is McCartney 3. And then this is McCartney 3 Imagined. I prefer this version of it. And then I have Wings Greatest Hits, and then probably the best Ringo album, Ringo. So if you're going to pick up a Ringo album, suggest this one. This is almost like a semi-Beatles reunion because they're almost all the Beatles play on this, although not together. And then several of the tracks are written by the Beatles themselves. So like Photograph, probably the most famous Ringo song written by Ringo and George Harrison. And then we have a song by Randy Newman, another song by Harrison. And then we have another George Harrison co-written one. And then we have a Paul McCartney one, Paul and Linda McCartney. So, oh yeah. And then I'm the Greatest, which is a John Lennon song. So yeah, this is a really great album. I recommend that one. And that is what I got for Beatles on 12-inch. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything else. Yeah, so that's what I got for November 2023. This is my collection as is now. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you have a favorite out of all of these with a comment down below. Until then, I want to thank you all so much for watching, but I especially want to thank my members over on Patreon. I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.